Greetings Witchers, Fayeth here. Welcome to my demonstration of the Power of Axii, the sign that allows you to control your opponents and level the battlefield. Now, most of the new players out there might think that certain signs in the game are not as useful as others. Like I've seen lots of people overuse the Igni because it deals direct damage, but dealing damage is not always the best way to go about your business in The Witcher 3. One of the most powerful signs is the Axii, and it's even more so when you upgrade it and invest some points in it. Here you can see I charm the warrior class of the Andregas, and it starts decimating its allies. Of course, sign intensity will play a major role to determine how useful the sign is, but if you charge it for like a second and release the trigger, it will have like 70 to 80% success of charming your opponent and have him decimate his allies. So capturing the strongest opponents in a fight like this can really turn the tide of battle. I've managed to capture levels of enemies that were like 4 above my own or 5, and that is pretty major when you're surrounded by 5 or 6 bandits that are 5 or 4 levels above your own and see them kill each other. What's also very interesting is that when there are like a couple of enemies engaging each other, one of them charmed by you, you will be regenerating stamina as if you're not in a combat situation, like almost instantly. So it's a very good way to just charm one opponent, have him decimate the other one, and watch yourself regenerate stamina, being ready to jump back into the fray refreshed and at full strength. Also, it's very important that if you invest points in the development of Axii, it will also overpower your puppet enemy. So up to 60% increase in strength of blows is possible when upgrading this sign and using it on opponents. Also, a secondary function of the charm effect is that the opponent will just sit there and stare at you, giving you the initiative to attack and take them out quick. Following is a demonstration of a camp of bandits getting decimated by the Axii without me having to attack at all, lest I needed to deal the final blow on the final remaining enemy. Even if your charm fails, it will still inflict a potent stun on the enemy that will just leave him standing there doing nothing. The only occasion I've seen the Axii not working properly is on monsters that were of a red skull level difference towards me. If the enemy is much more powerful and a monster like a Dragonoid or something, you might see that it consistently resists your Axii attempts. Sign intensity in this case and late game perks might help with that, but I cannot attest to it since I'm not as far developed and wouldn't want to lie to you guys out of ignorance. Also, something that's to be underlined here is that gladly The Witcher is not one of these games where boss characters are immune to certain effects just because they're bosses. Here you can see me fighting the Ignis Fagos and I can stun it with the Axii. Like an instant burst of the Axii just puts it in a catatonic state, allowing me to combo in it, and this made this particular fight that much more easy. I'm playing on Death March on my first playthrough, the final difficulty setting, so if it works here and works that well, imagine what it can do on hard or normal. This video was brought to you by me, Fayeth, and the Fex for Life wiki at fexforlife.com, your #1 source for all the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt information. If you enjoyed this or found it useful, do not forget to subscribe, like and share. I'm making these videos for you almost every day. Until next time, be well guys, stay frosty and always strive for perfection. Cheers.